Well, it has been one of the most talked about careers of the modern era. In 2009, Jack Watts made his debut on this very same occasion, and since then there's been many ups and downs. But today, 8 years on the same patch of the G, he took the game by the throat and hammered home the final nail. His co-captain, Jack Viney, joins us on the couch. Welcome to you, Jack, and I was fearing for you at half-time, but what a turnaround.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. Yeah, it was. It wasn't looking too good at half time, but thankfully we rallied the troops and got the job done in the second half.
And wasn't it great to see the turnaround in fortunes for one of the most maligned players when he went back and just kicked that great goal?
Are we talking about Watts here?
Yep.
Yeah. You know, he's gone through a fair bit in his career. A lot of pressure and a lot of critics talking about him, but. Last year he was top 5 in our BNF and going strength to strength and, made a big play for us today. Were
you disappointed in him at the start of the year? We asked your other co-captain that earlier in the season.
Yeah, we felt like he wasn't, training to the standards that we thought were, acceptable, and to his credit he turned it around and worked really hard with the coaches and his own plan, and he's been terrific for us all season, which we knew he would. It was, he's a very important part of this football club and team, and we needed him at his best.
Jack, what were the magic words from Simon Goodwin that turned this one around at half-time?
Yeah, we just needed to get a few things structurally sound, and also our contest. We were getting beaten up around the ball, so coming into the game, the things that changed were our intent around the contest, and structurally we fixed a few things up which seemed to work for us.
What about, so your midfield was beaten around the contest in the first half, Jack, and you struggled yourself, but you had a big finish to the game, finished off strongly. Just take us into your mindset. How do you turn the game from having an ordinary day yourself to having a very good day? What would your focus be? Do you have to get to more contest? Do you think I need to tackle some more? Do I need to spread better away from the contest? What's running through your mind when you start off a day like that?
Yeah, first half was pretty ordinary for myself, and going into half time, it's just stay calm and composed. I know that the game was going to turn for us, and I wanted to be a part of it, so I was just stayed confident and calm, and we changed a few things up structurally, which allowed me to get to a few more contests, and our players to get to a few more contests, and that's a brand of football we play, and it worked for us.
Are you a vocal leader at half-time when the team's down like that? Or you try and keep to yourself, try and concentrate on the task at hand and then talk when you get out in the field?
No, I try and get around to as many boys as possible and, keep the spirits up, keep them going, fix up a few things that we might not be doing well, and maybe follow up with a few players once things have said during the quarters. Yeah. And that's mainly it, yeah.
Eyeball a couple on the way through, I'm sure, mate. I know how you operate. What about your centre bounce sweep? Because you were being dominated in the first half, and Simon's been pushing the 8 and 9 off the back of the square, rushing through. In the third term, it was really significant. It was really important. We're showing some vision here of that extra 1 or 2 players getting involved and just creating an outnumber. You won 11 of the next 14 centre bounces. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of teams are doing this now where we have 1 or 2 come off the square, which for us, it's given us really good coverage. Forwards are down at times, and they've got to really compete for us. But if you bring the ball out the right way out of stoppage, that can be a real advantage for you.
Just talking about bringing it the right way out of a stoppage, we're seeing different teams have troubles at times. The hat kick is not one that teams want anymore. If you win possession, it's about hanging on to possession and making sure that there are teammates around you to link up with so that you can get a clear takeaway from the stoppage, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of teams are doing the forward at the back of the square or the wingman, and it leaves you one down forward. So you got to be smart if you get a clear exit from the stoppage where you're placing it, because your forward's under pressure.
How do you handle game day duties with you being co-captain? How do you handle it with Nathan Jones? Do you decide who's going to toss the coin during the week, or as you run out the tunnel?
Yeah.
How do you go about all those sort of duties?
Yeah, we toss the coin to toss the coin, round 1. So one of us will toss the coin, and the other one will give the pre-game speech, and then the other one will give the one at half time. So was my turn to give the halftime speech, and I'll claim that that's what got us over the line.
You've been a pretty vocal and aggressive leader in your junior days and even your early days at Melbourne. Have you had to temper yourself and how you approach people and how you arrive at a common goal?
Yeah, I have. I come into the AFL system pretty narrow-minded about leadership and what I thought professionalism looked like. I thought there was one way to go about it, which I was wrong, and I learnt that over a few years now.
What sort of things are you talking about? What do you mean?
I thought you had to be the last person in the gym, last person off the track to be a true athlete and professional about what you do. But I learnt that doesn't work for everybody. People have their own methods and ways of going about their football, everyone has different personalities, and you got to kind of look after
tolerant.
That. Yeah, that's right.
Hey Jack, there was a 2-minute period today where Melbourne released long kicks out of the defensive 50. You were looking for Tom McDonald. And the former teammate Jeremy Howard just decided to jump on his ears a couple of times. It was almost like deja vu, wasn't it?
Yeah, Howie's incredible in the air. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And as soon as I saw Tommy just separate a little bit from Howie, I knew that it's not going to end well.
He was up there the first one. We've actually measured the first one.
Let's have a look.
It's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I was right under this one. If you see in the vision, I'm right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh God.
Well, you're where the front square should be.
You're on a
Yeah,
poster.
that's right. I was hoping Tommy would create a good contest for me. Perfect, just dropped down there. But how he ends up, it went for a point, and then the next exact play, it looked like Howie's about to do the same thing.
Well, your average ceiling height is about 2.8. If you get the high ceilings, it's 3. So he's got his head half a metre through.
He's fixing the
even
roof
the
tiles.
top ones. Yeah,
You had 4 in your house, Jared.
Thank you, Brownie. Expectations are finals. If you had a loss today, it would have been a very difficult cause. Was it mentioned at all at half time? Was it just something in the distant future?
Oh, it's just something in the distant future. For us, we're just focusing about the process and developing good work habits. Habits that are going to stand up week in, week out, and hopefully come finals when we do get there, we'll be able to play good football and hold up with the best.
Can you give us an insight into the differences between Paul Roos and Simon Goodwin, your two coaches of recent years? What's the major difference between the two of them?
Yeah, I think when Roosie got to the football club, we were, in shambles. Really, we didn't have a strong culture, and the foundations weren't really set. So when Roosie came into the club, he did a great job in creating a culture and the foundations for us to build, and then come Goody is being able to just focus on the game plan and the analysis of football is top notch. So. He's been terrific for our game plan and ball movement style.
Talk about strong culture. There must be a very strong character around someone like Jesse Hogan. He's had a couple of enormous personal challenges this year, but he looks to have handled them very well.
Yeah, absolutely. The stuff Hogan's had to go through this year, you don't wish upon anybody, and the way he's dealt with it and handled it, it's been a credit to his character.
Can I ask you about the handball, or it seems almost obsessive handball when you come under pressure? Collingwood's pressure numbers were through the roof, as David said at half-time. The response seems from Melbourne's mids basically to flick it round a couple of times, even the blokes under enormous pressure. I saw Oliver handball, and then in the third quarter he turned around and he went bang. And it seems almost as if you need to reprogram, not just him, but yourselves to sometimes take the longer option.
Yeah, it's not something that we try to do is over handball the ball, but we do want to, exit from stoppage effectively and efficiently, and at times that's, 1 or 2 handballs and get the ball going forward. But when the opposition's got, really good pressure, which Collingwood did today in the first half, it forced it into over handballing, and that was an adjustment we had to make. Was if the pressure's like that, then we just might have to get it going forward.
What's made of the psychological part of the game? Being able to handle the expectations that come across the Demons, being able to play well against teams that maybe you're not expected to beat, but the challenge of putting those teams away that are lower ranked on the ladder. Do you buy into that at all, or is it on a case-by-case basis?
Yeah, case-by-case basis. I think that the group's now at a stage where we can deal with expectation and, perform and the way we're supposed to more often. I'm sure we'd still go through patches where we're inconsistent, but I think we're getting much better and winning more quarters than not.
You got your old man around the club. I imagine that's not always easy. Does he keep his distance? How does that relationship work?
I wish he kept his distance. He told me to give him a call this morning and so he could give me some instructions.
What did he say? What did he go with?
Nah, he's very good. He just tells me to play to my brand. Tough at footy, but no, he's good. He's a list manager at the footy club, keeping me getting the game. So. It's really good, and I enjoy the dynamic having there and bouncing things off him.
Well, given that he is a list manager, on behalf of a lot of Melbourne supporters, can you ask him why Ollie Wines ended up at Port Adelaide?
Yeah, I'll make sure I ask him for you.
Would you like to have played with him? He's a great mate of yours.
Yeah, I would have loved to. I love how Ollie goes about his football, and we're really close growing up together. So to have him by my side would have been pretty special.
Another one of your gun teammates, Max Gawn. When's he back? Is he back in the next few weeks or not?
Well, I heard he's telling people he's back next week.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You bring
Straight
straight in or not?
I'm not too sure. He's a great player, and I'd love to have him straight in the team. But I know the coaches, take a pretty conservative approach with make sure the boys have got match fitness.
Given the combo you have with him, surely you'd be telling Simon, hey, you've got to come back in this fight.
I might give Goody a little nudge, tell him to get him in there, but. Yeah, we're doing pretty well, with Pedo.
He has been good.
Yeah, that's right. So I think if the coaches wanted to give him a week in the VFL or whatnot to get his fitness up, I don't think there'd be too much of an issue with that.
Nah, come on, don't go with that. Max will be doing it for saying that. Hey, what about targeting players? Do we see a lot of it? We try and watch for the targeted player week on week. Jason Johannesson was targeted on Friday night by the Sydney Swans. Do you get involved in that yourselves?
Yeah, we've gone after a few players this year, like Rory Sloane and a few others. So you got some terrific players in the comp at the moment, and they can really win games for opposition. So,
but you've seen it work against Johannesson. Will you follow that trend and go after him on Sunday?
I think it depends. It depends what you're after.
He's got a smile on his face.
I'm for that. But other teams might just want to go about their business and make sure they're focusing on their structures, their setups, and what they need to do. But if it works, I wouldn't see why I wouldn't try it again.
I think Jason's in for a little bit of time next week. 6-day break. They've had a 10-day break. Does that come into it?
Yeah. I'm not too sure. I don't buy into the break thing too much. I mean, most of the teams come off the bye have played reasonably poor. So, I think it's just who's in form, who's had a good week leading up into it. Traditionally, we've played pretty well off 6-day breaks. I feel like we've got a good system and structure to get us up for game day.
You come across as a pretty compulsive, hard-nosed sort of person. I was thrilled to see you down at Bell's with Jones and Magna and Rowan Bale and Harmsy. Is that how you relax during the week?
Yeah, I try to get down to the beach as much as I can and have a surf. I do uni as well, and living out of home now and got a dog, so a few of these things just take up my spare time. But I finish uni now. Had my exam last week, so I'll try and get to the beach this Wednesday, I reckon.
Well, you're always surprised when you said you were living out of home and you had I thought you were going to say girlfriend. You said a dog, but that's okay.
I'm going to be in trouble, I reckon.
A couple of my kids, Jack.
It was a great day today, and you played a significant role in the second half. Congratulations, and let's hope you can take it right through to finals at the end of the year. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, boys.